What's happening, everybody? Man, it's your boy Rick, man. It's LIB Media, man. All right, I'm back here with another one real quick, man. So, um, the GOAT, the unquestionable GOAT, which we don't see this a lot in a lot of sports. Um, in a lot of sports, a lot of people have arguments for the GOAT, right? One way or another, whether that is a longevity award, whether that is a record wins and loss reward, whether that's in basketball points, assists, rebounds, whatever kind of accolades, football passing yards, blah 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 blah, all of that. I believe in the UFC, there's nobody that beats Jon Jones in any category that you can think of to put somebody over him as the greatest of all time, right? You might say, okay, well, the one thing that comes to people's minds is the performance enhancing drugs thing, the real life situations he had, with drugs um, and all of that stuff. What I would say to that is, I would I would think in my mind that yes, I understand that, but when you really look at his body of work for this period of time, you know that it's not an accident for that how great he is. Like Jon Jones understands range better than any UFC fighter I have ever seen. He controls the range. He is a a longer guy, which is why they call him Bone, Jon Bones Jones, because he is kind of bony. But also to solidify his career, he moved up to heavyweight, right? And people didn't know he could do it at at heavyweight. Um, and so because he was able to move up to heavyweight and do it at heavyweight and still be so dominant, the only close fight I think I've ever really seen John where I said this might be closest, he fought Dominic Reyes, and that guy put up a round for his money. But John, understanding the sport closed like how the GOAT would close, understanding the scorecards, understanding the time, and close that thing out the way he's supposed to close it out. But I just want to do this real quick, man, to so that people understand, because I don't think people understand how great Jon Jones was for how long, right? Because he entered the UFC pretty young, right? And so he entered the UFC pretty young. And so if you've been a real UFC fan for a long time, John has done some amazing things, right? So he starts off the UFC in 2008, right? Kind of just cruising through everybody, right? And from 2000, I would say 2000 up this March 19th, 2011 fight, from that fight to 2018, 1000% made this man the GOAT, because this man took on the best people at that time and he was making light work of people. This man fought Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Victor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Alexander Gustafsson, who was my guy. I was a big Gustafsson fan at that time, 2013. Yeah. So just some other big names is Daniel Cormier twice, Gustafsson the second time, Anthony Smith, right? Then after just running that gauntlet, right? When it was like, okay, he ran that gauntlet, and then what else did he do? Right? He was like, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll come back, I'll fight Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, Dominic Reyes is the fight. I said, that was a tough one for him. Cyril Gane, and then he made Cyril Gane and Stipe look like they didn't even belong in the ring with him at all. And so, long story short, that is why I would say, man, just the longevity from 2008 to 2024, all wins. The one loss on his resume is not even really a loss. It's a DQ because he was beating somebody up. But, with that being said, Dana White announced that Jon Jones is going to officially hang it up. Jon Jones went on a podcast and he was kind of talking about a whole lot of stuff and why and how he didn't really feel like fighting. He wasn't in the mood to fight and all of that kind of stuff. And so from there, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was gonna blow up. My YouTube timeline was blowing up. Like Daniel Cormier dropped the video, Mighty Mouse dropped the video. All these people started dropping videos like Jon Jones need to get the belt. If he not gonna fight, he need to get the belt. Because Tom Aspinall is the guy that everybody's saying that guy can beat Jon Jones. What I will say about that is Jon Jones had nothing else to prove. That fight to me is not necessarily running away. Tom Aspinall has been waiting on that fight. He's the younger guy. Jon Jones is not an older guy, which is when he was beating a lot of the older guys, he was the younger guy. So, I mean, when Jon Jones fights, you can see it. Father Time beats everybody. You can see that he's older. You can see certain hits hurt a little bit more. I mean, he's not impervious to magic. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You can see the age and attrition really kicking in for him. And so after beating Stipe, who was a huge name in the heavyweight division, even though Stipe didn't look like much of himself, that's what's going to happen to everybody, right? So can Tom Aspinall beat Jon Jones just strictly off of youth and energy and not having that much wheels on the tires? Yes, of course. Would I pick against Jon Jones in any fight ever? No. Because there's certain things in fighting sports that you can't that you can't look at a card and break down what it really means, like spacing, right? Strike ability to strike from different points, wrestling, your wrestling ability. Like you can't really quantify that on a stat sheet. You have to watch these people and say, oh, he makes it hard for anybody trying to do this or do that and do this and do that. And so I would say well-deserved career. You overcame a lot of the ups and downs you had going on, John. Very proud of you for it. I've been a fan for since like 2011 myself. I follow your career since that point. And I think it's just a well-deserved retirement. I think he should go up as the greatest UFC fighter ever. I think it's going to be really hard to overcome him, not only because of the gauntlet, but because of the way Dana White gets down. Dana White makes the best fight the best. So you're not going to have people sneaking around trying to maintain their record because, as I just showed y'all a minute ago, those fights were legitimate fighters. Like when you think of UFC, that light heavyweight division at that time was the division. You think of, middleweight people who were middleweights that also moved up to light heavyweight was, the Iceman Chuck Liddell's, Tito Ortiz. You had Lyoto Machida. You had Rampage Jackson, Rashad Evans, right? And Jon Jones was walking through all of these people, right? Daniel Cormier, he's another Hall of Famer. Gustafsson, Hall of Famer. Victor Belfort. These are all Hall of Fame fighters that he was walking through. And so for someone to do that, they not only have to have the wins with the knockouts and the title defenses, right? And also for the period of time with the dominance. And that's just going to be really hard to do. I am a firm believer in sports that nobody stays the GOAT forever because the way genetics work, the next era of fighters, the next era of athletes are going to be bigger, faster, and stronger. And they're going to be able to play longer because of medicine and training and understanding things that older fighters didn't understand, eating and all of those things, right? Maintaining your weight and flexibility and all of that stuff. So when you take all of that into account, of course, there's going to be somebody, but I'll probably be an old man by then. So either way, hopefully then I'll still have this channel and I'll still speak on it then. But as of right now, man, all hands up to the GOAT, man. Jon Jones, a great career. I hope that this is a finite decision that I know in that podcast you said you might come back if you get the spirit again. I hope this is a finite decision because I hate seeing legends in the fight game that I love come back because they still got that urge to fight. But it just doesn't look good when you come back. Once you settle your body down for retirement, it's hard to get back up on that horse. So Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. If y'all feel like anybody else got an argument for the GOAT, if y'all feel like Jon Jones is running or whatever, man, y'all just let me know, man. This your boy Rick, man. This LIB Media, dog, and I'm